to a completely foreign market,
Yeah.
speaking in a you're Latvian. I'm sure your English was brilliant, but still, you're still dealing in a foreign language, foreign customs, foreign taxes. America's very commercial. It's not an easy market to penetrate. You were having to create a market in a completely new product, and you were there with two suitcases. Just walk me through what it took, those first impediments, and how you dealt with them. What was the resolve that you had, and what kept you going through that process? Because I'm sure there must have been times when you felt very, very lonely, especially when you clearly fell out with your original guy. What
Yeah,
was
the
that
original
like?
guy. Like losing him was blessing in disguise, and thank God it
It
happened
doesn't
so
feel like it at the
early.
time, though, does it? I mean,
No,
yeah.
no, that it was just like a consequence of my crazy and again quite spontaneous decision, not knowing too much about somebody, and then you start learning that he was going through an ugly divorce, and he didn't have any money to invest, and actually he was not planning to invest anything, and his big business plan was like 50-50 business partners with a blonde girl who must be very thankful for like ending up in the United States so that she is willing to work for 50% of something and work 100%. But that's uh, let it be. But to answer your question, so it's pretty much, I think, the same, regardless of what new you are starting to do. So for me, it always begins with a decision. I may not make decisions very like spontaneously, although it doesn't sound like that, right? But once I have made a decision, I'm not looking back. So I want to do this. I have told the world, or my family at least, I want to do this. So the question is not if anymore, it's how. And that how is not apparent ever. And then it starts with like taking the first step, whatever that first step may be. And there was a lady, an American lady, who happened to be my conversation partner at a coffee shop, I believe. And she said, why don't you start with local chamber of commerce? And I was like in Los Gatos, which is pretty much a village in San Francisco Bay Area. And although California was chosen for a reason that it would be the right market for something new to the United States and wellness related, nevertheless, that was a village. And there were like people living their village lives. So who cares about whole body cryotherapy from who knows what? And yes, she said, "Why don't you start with Chamber of Commerce?" And then I did, and I went to Chamber of Commerce, and they give certain like stage to members. You get to introduce your business, and at least you start practicing talking about it, which had nothing to do with succeeding in what I wanted to do, because it was not the right market, it was not the right people. None of them would buy a $50,000 device for anything. It's in the Chamber of Commerce. I was actually exposed to people who wanted to sell to me rather than the way around, because you meet a real estate agent, you meet like insurance broker, all these people who go to Chamber of Commerce meetings and finds new contacts there. But getting in touch with them and being in a different country which has different business culture and different culture and everything, I learned a lot from them. And so again, one step at a time, and then you get in front of somebody. One lady who liked cryotherapy very much introduced me to her friend who was a chiropractor and who had an office in Los Gatos, and he was working with pro athletes, and he was a pro athlete formerly himself, and said, "Yeah, why not? Let's put this device in my office." And although it was never big business for him or for us, for anybody, but it was one step forward. It was a real place where real people could come and have a treatment. And then actually not everything was like step and step and step, I probably would have taken forever. But there were two events in 2011. I would say very lucky, maybe coincidences, maybe not, but one of them was Dr. Oz show. Dr. Oz show is run by a doctor who was found by Oprah Winfrey, and his
Dr. Oz, yeah.
mission in the United States, it's a talk show basically, but his mission is to show people something that is maybe weird, maybe unconventional, maybe new, maybe something. And so in January of 2011, we were on Dr. Oz show with a cryotherapy chamber in front of all the clapping ladies in the audience who were like making big eyes. There's the whole, and Dr. Oz said, is it hype or is it help? And it says it helps. And then he showed some like blood vessels and how it all like influences inflammation. So important piece of publicity. And even more important piece of publicity the same year in June, Dallas Mavericks, who was our first client in the United States, like in the professional sports world, won the championship. And during the final segment, the finals, there was a piece about the secret sauce of Dallas Mavericks being the oldest team in the league, recovering before next game better than anybody else. And so after that, tides turned, and instead of knocking on people's doors and trying to have them listen to who we were and what we wanted, most of those cases are and again, if we talk about cultures, Americans are very like, oh my God, that is so exciting, that is so great. And at the same time, you'll meet that same person on the street the next day, and they barely remember that they talked to you. Or I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they don't have any long-term interest. But in this case, with the segment about Dallas Mavericks, people started calling us. So instead of knocking on doors, we could start answering questions, and then one after another, there were a few businesses, there were sports teams who wanted the technology and the cutting edge it brings, and so that was the beginning of it.